Welcome to What Is Fashion, Entertainment, Nightlife, and Lifestyle. I'm your host, MalissaDean. We're about to enter the world of a painter by the name of Rizk. We are here with Rizk, painter extraordinaire. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Thank you for allowing us in.
Oh, you're welcome. It's quite a pleasure.
Thank you. So, Ferris, tell us all about this fabulous paintings that I'm seeing all around.
These paintings are has a lot to do for where I come from.
Yes.
I'm born in Cairo. I grew up between Cairo, Jordan, and Lebanon,
Okay.
like traveling around the Middle East. And then I went to spend summer schools in Europe. So I went to French school. So I was very influenced by the French culture and the French art.
Wow.
And then I came to college to the United States.
Okay.
I lived in Georgia and Louisiana to do my bachelor, and I did my master's in New York at Parsons.
Wow.
And of course, from traveling and growing up, my art has a lot to do with the travels, the trips I took, and going to Cairo every year, and the contrast in the culture, having the Mississippi in Louisiana, growing up close to the Nile, and having the Hudson. I always think about it. I love the traveling, and I love the idea that I live close to a river. And I never forget that Manhattan is an island. I always remember, and that had a lot to do with my art.
Loving the water aspect, so you grew up
by the water. Summers in Alexandria, winters in Cairo, so I always had the Nile, and then I had the Mediterranean in Beirut, and then that's why I like to be close to the water. It means a lot to me. And I feel the freedom and the poetry of the water and the sunset.
That's exactly what I feel standing here. I mean, it's truly amazing all the pieces that you have. I would like to know a little bit more about the paintings, like individual. Do we have time for that?
Oh yeah, we have time. You have portraits and you have landscapes. That's what consists of my art. I love color. I love thickly paintings. And I think the people I met in New York, I love the nightlife. And I met a lot of characters at night and during the day.
Yes.
And I painted a few of them. They posed for me. And I have painted friends. So New York is more about the people.
Yes.
And the landscapes are more about the traveling and my memory of a certain trip. Some paintings I painted in Cairo at my mother's balcony. And there is this painting, for example, that has to do with the purple flowers that they grow up in me. They're called jacaranda.
Beautiful.
And
I love the color.
yeah, it's a mix. This is like Connecticut here. This is Florida. This is Cairo. This is looking at the different moons. The moon changed one night. I was driving back from Alexandria to Cairo. The moon was white, became yellow, became red, and then it came back to white. And I just wanted to show that voyage in the car. These long.
Captured it so perfectly.
Yeah, and there is an angel in the white.
Oh, that's nice.
But then I love the contrast between New York and these poetic trips. But maybe because I live here, these trips become more meaningful.
Yes.
Because you know how New York is.
Yes.
And that's how we make it all happen in this tiny apartment.
Well, it looks great.
It's like a jewel box.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it. A jewel box. So tell us, your paintings, they speak to us. I understand that you've grown up all over the world, which is so fabulous. Just tell me, have any of your paintings been commissioned by anyone?
Yes, I did a portrait of Patricia Field, the designer of Sex and the City movie.
Wow.
I had 5 paintings at the Tiffany's windows.
Tiffany and Company.
Yes, Tiffany and Company window on Fifth Avenue.
Wow.
Ruth Falcon, mezzo soprano of the Metropolitan Opera, has 7 of my paintings. She collected them all the years.
Okay.
And of course, I have a portrait of Madonna, but I painted her from my own self too, because Madonna inspires me so much. I'm a huge fan.
That's wonderful.
And So I have little projects here and there, and the art is, I'm showing 3 of my nightlife characters. They're going to Los Angeles,
Okay,
3
that's
paintings,
exciting.
at the Storefront Gallery
Okay.
in Los Angeles, on Hollywood Boulevard. And you know, I do little projects here and there, and that's how I keep going. And I'm hoping to have future projects like painting Obama, painting Britney,
Painting me.
painting you.
Yes.
Art, you have to get your inspiration from anything that inspires, whether it's politics, pop culture, nightlife, female impersonators, movie stars that motivate you. Just do it. There is no
I can
explanation.
just feel your passion. That's why.
There is no stopping point as long as you keep doing your craft.
Right.
Because it's important if you have a talent to go for it.
Yes, I totally agree. And that's why we're here today.
Exactly.
So let me get a feel of this.
This is oil, and it's layers. I usually start with a red canvas, and I build it up from there because the red gives warmth to the color.
Yes.
You know, I grew up in sunny places, so the red has to do with the sun. And when you put any color on top of the red, it looks more vibrant. I always feel.
She almost looks like she's popping off.
Yeah, coming from the universe to us.
Yeah.
Well, she is in a way like an icon, and this painting shows her as more of an icon.
Yes.
It's an old portrait of her, but she looks the same. God knows how. That's what happens when you exercise every day. And she motivates me tremendously. Her energy and her drive, and
I think it's spectacular.
her ability to focus.
Yeah.
I heard that she has an ability to focus more than anyone. That's why she is where she is.
Yes. So what about this painting?
This is inspired by a trip I did to Marrakesh,
Okay.
which was lovely. And you know, in the background of Marrakesh there is the Atlas Mountain. In winter and summer they always have snow on them.
Wow.
And this is basically not a scene that I did there, it's from the memory of the whole trip. There is a lot of doors and gardens behind the door. Like you open the door, you have a garden, and then you have the house built around the garden. They call these houses Riyadh. And I feel like I did my whole trip on a glance. I did not talk about the souk in Marrakesh because I grew up in Cairo. I did not talk about the souk. I like the poetic aspect. They're amazing with interiors in Marrakesh. They always have the little fountain. You open a door, from outside everything is messy. Then you walk in, everything is serene and peaceful. That's the idea. Those are the doors.
And this is the fountain there.
This is the fountain, and they also spill roses everywhere. And this is the gardens. And this is the Atlas Mountain, which is very interesting. And in the Atlas Mountain there is the Berber that live. It's another culture.
Okay.
They're very special people, and they have their own food. And we spent the whole day running on a donkey up the mountain, and I was very scared of the donkey. But the donkey knew where he was going.
Right.
And so it was amazing. This trip, I'll never ever forget it. And I feel this painting.
It speaks. It definitely
Yeah.
speaks because you captured everything just from the mere memory of being
Exactly.
there.
I try to juxtapose. I usually like paint from a picture, a scene. This one I wanted to just, in a nutshell, put my whole experience when I went to Marrakesh.
Gorgeous.
Yes.
Absolutely gorgeous. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So let's hear about this one. Water. So
This
serene.
one is an island. It's the other side, not Miami, the other side where the Gulf of Mexico is.
Okay.
It's the western part of
Okay.
Florida.
Okay.
And the sunsets are very special there. This is an island between Sarasota and Tampa, Bradenton. It's close to Bradenton.
Okay.
I stayed in an inn from the 50s, and my friends invited me. This is my inspiration. The barges, the sunset, and the little trees. And it was very special trip. The sunsets are very nice. I did this painting. Then I have another painting I want to show you of a sunset.
Okay.
And the sun falls like an egg yolk into just a different sunset, the west part of Florida.
Okay.
It was very special.
So let's take a look at that one as well.
Okay, let me show you the other one.
So here we have the sunset.
This painting, I called it My Heart is on Fire.
Wow.
I was very inspired by love, and the sky was very orange that night, and I did it standing, looking at the sun, and the sun was against me. It was challenging to layer and do it at the same time. But I'm very fond of that moment.
It even appears so. It just looks like everything is just
It's moving.
right. Like the waves.
Little crystals,
Right.
exactly. I like to have movements in the painting.
Okay. This definitely reflects that.
So this one is called My Heart is on Fire.
Okay. And how about this one?
This one is inspired by a trip I did in the year 2000 to Santorini to attend a wedding. And this was the view from the lunchroom at the hotel.
Wow.
It is the pool, the infinity pool, and this is the volcanic island. So this is where the volcanoes happen here.
Okay.
And it was spectacular because the color of the pool, the color of the ocean, one is blue, one is more turquoise. And
So when you say infinity, so the
there is no
pool
edge.
Oh,
There is no
okay.
edge to the painting. And it was amazing, this island. It's not really a beach island, it's more known for its sunsets as well. I think I have something with the sunset and something with the beaches due to how I grew up with the water.
So tell me, who are these people above you?
Those are friends of mine, and one of them is me. This one
Wait,
is.
let me figure out which one's you. No, I can't.
Okay, this is Angelic.
Okay.
She's a friend of mine, ballet dancer, very beautiful. That's her stage name, her nightlife character. Beautiful, tall, thin, gorgeous. She sat for me and we did this portrait. And this is Kenny Kenny, very famous nightclub character,
Okay.
very famous party promoter. He did the doors of every major fashion icon in New York.
Okay.
And I'm very fond of him. He's a close friend. He posed for me right here in this apartment and we did this portrait.
Wow.
And then this is me,
Oh!
Sultana.
Fabulous.
That's my other name in the middle of the night. After 6 I turn into this. Lashes, hair. So this is part of my nightlife. That sometimes is becoming not a secret anymore because everybody knows. In the morning I have one face and at night I have another face. And this captures the moment. I look very defiant in this painting, I think. This is who I am.
But I would tell you, both faces are just fabulous.
Thank you. And those 3 paintings are going to fly to Los Angeles tonight to be
Okay.
part of an exhibition at the Storefront Gallery on Hollywood Boulevard. It's a show called The World of Wonder, organized by RuPaul. It's a drag race
Okay.
about the drag life and people that do drag, that paints drag queens.
Yeah.
I mean, it's about the drag culture basically. And I'm very proud to be part of that show.
And I'm sure you're very excited about it.
Yes, and I wish I could go to the opening of January 15th, but due to conflict in my schedule, it's difficult.
Okay. But your representation will be there.
Yes, and this has to do with my love of the nightlife in New York and the people I met all these years. So many people in New York, they say, how did you meet this person? Oh, from the nightlife. Like the club here, club there.
Right. Amazing.
Yes.
So tell me, what's the inspiration of the photos behind this?
The paintings are, this is Alexandria, the first one. This is an empty house in the middle of the beach. I called it The Unknown, the painting. This one is called The Calling. It was a moon in Cairo at dusk time. This one is called The Calling, this painting, because I was looking at the moon. And this one is called, this is also the moon with a very old architectural painting. I forgot what I called that painting, but I'm going to check. Oh, it's called The Light. It's the light of the moon at night. And those were all, this was on a balcony of a friend, and she lives across a very historical period in Egypt, where this was a house with a minaret. This is part of the architectural detail with the moon. Now this one is called also jacaranda. It's that purple flower that grows in May in Egypt. And I arrived to Cairo in May, and to my surprise, all the trees from the airport to my mother's apartment were blossoming in purple. So I went crazy. I took the car and I drove around searching for where there is purple. And I kept taking pictures, and I worked from the picture at the end. And I did two paintings. This one, I'm very fond of this painting. I think there's something very strong about it.
Very rich.
Yes, this one was painted in Canada. This is another trip. I went to visit a friend, and she had a summer house at Saint-Adèle. And it was very cold, of course, Canada, and I made it outdoors. But she made a little picnic for me in the cold. And but I'm very fond of it. It's called La Pensée, the thought. And then this one is here in New York. It's called Love Making, because I was with someone that I love. He was holding a sketchbook for me, and it was the water with the rocks. There is that waterfall in Kent, the famous waterfall. It was the water hitting the rocks, and I felt it was like making love. I don't know, it was my mind. It's always about love somewhere, and I'm very fond of this. It's called Love Making. I love, the colors are very unusual. They're not as bright as usual, but the rocks were dark brown, so I included the purple. And I worked from a drawing for this, but I'm very fond of this. It's very unique, true with my style.
Especially with you explaining like exactly what it's doing and what
it's the water hitting the rocks. It's that Kent waterfall.
Very nice. And what do we have here?
This is Yvonne Lamay, very good friend of mine. She owns restaurants.
Okay.
She owns Lips Restaurant in the West Village. She owns Arte Pasta in the West Village, where I had the show once.
Oh, yeah.
And she owns Maracas, where they have the fried ice cream that we should have. And they also have Lips in San Diego and Lips in Florida. And we go there Wednesday. That's how I started performing, by befriending Yvonne Lamay. She pushed me in developing that Sultana character that we developed, that everyone hears. When my mother said, you want to do Sultana, make sure you always look pretty.
Right.
That was my mother's advice.
Very, very, very nice.
And that's Yvonne, cute friend, beautiful as a man and as a woman, and beautiful soul. I show the transparency of her character in this painting, I think.
Very nice. And who do we have here?
This is a chap that I met at this soiree, and we were talking what I do in my life, and I said I paint portraits, and I don't know, it wasn't really about the painting, it's about speaking about his status or his feelings. He said, I don't know why, I'm always hungry, horny and tired, and I said, I have to paint your portrait. And he came here in this lovely studio, my jewel box, the way I call it, and he sat down and we did his portrait, and this is it. And it was many years ago, but there's something about the painting that I like. I think I captured the essence.
I think it's lovely. Thanks for sharing.
You're welcome.
So, this is your street.
Yes.
Tell me all about it.
This is my street. I'm very fond of it. It's a little bit inspiring. I have the Indian restaurant with the sitar players. That's a subject I did.
Right.
With all these very nice restaurants here, and I really like, they're like my neighbors. So I never feel lonely
In the city.
in this city. And so the sitar, I did it twice. I sat outside, I painted, I spoke to people, and I painted it. Then there is a flower shop that we're going to, that's going to be my next future painting. So I'm just working with the weather. It's a little chilly.
Just a little.
Just a little, but I'm very fond of the flower shop. They're my friends, and it's the mother and son, and that mother taught her son everything about flower arrangements. And this is when I first looked at my apartment, what made me want to get it is the flower shop, because I thought it's a little bit romantic to have a flower shop. Reminds me of Europe, and there is something sweet and positive every time I walk home, and I find the flower shop here.
Very inviting.
Yes.
So tell us, what keeps you here in New York City?
I love that I can be totally myself here in New York, and I could do all the projects I like to do here in New York. And I love the different culture, the ethnicity, I feel like that New York has this art mind, like all these people that are creative get together and put something together, and there is a certain freedom of being yourself that I cannot find in any other city, even Paris and London. I mean, maybe I don't know Paris and London as much as I know New York, and I developed that strength to be
Right.
myself here. I mean, Paris, I find I'm very middle class. It's all about the wine and the pâté.
Okay.
And but it's the most beautiful city in the world, of course.
Okay.
And
If you can make it anywhere, you can make it here in New York City.
exactly, there is nothing like New York because of the edginess, and I hope we can keep the artist in New York. That has been always a subject with all what's going on.
Yes.
And we have a chilly sun, a cool sun, but thank God we have it.
So this is the coffee shop.
Yes, that's where I come on weekends to read the post, meet the people of the neighborhood. It's a very friendly place, and I come here to meet people, get ideas, get maybe more people to paint, more portraits, and that's where I come.
So everyone is pretty much open to the possibility of local.
Yes, people like to feel that the East Village is still a neighborhood. When I painted on the street the other day, all the neighborhood passed by me. They came to look at the art. They were very interested in what I'm doing, and they were also happy that this is the village that we like. We don't want it to change. We want to keep that essence. What put New York on the map is the artists. That's why these developers that are going to make it into real estate neighborhood, hopefully they won't succeed. Hopefully we can keep that edge of New York City.
And I think we will.
Good.
Yes.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers. So here we are at the flower shop. Life imitating art.
Yes, that's my favorite flower shop. They have the roses that inspire the pink. They have the green scents. They're always fixing and arranging. And I love that Mother, Sunny, and her son, they always do the most beautiful little arrangements. And every time I come home after a long day of hard work, I see the flowers. It puts me in a peaceful mood before I go to my studio. That makes me want to paint. And this is going to be the next subject of a painting I've been working on. But because of the weather, I'm being a little cold, hibernating. But that's definitely going to be one of my paintings. And the issue with the flower shop, it changes every day, the colors. So I have to find a day where I'm working for many hours for a long time about the flower shop.
I think you can do it.
Yes, look at these colors. Look at the textures that inspire the strokes.
Very rich
Exactly.
color and definitely in texture. Even the paper that they line
The
it
paper,
with.
yeah, and they always use a twine to wrap the flowers, and they have such a little touch that I love these things in life. Like the little touches that make things matter.
Beautiful. That's what art is all about.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Look at the purple and pink here. And then there is more, the orange there. Just the all colors that I like. And there is, I don't know, in the
From the
refrigerator.
daisies to the hydrangeas, the sunflowers, tulips, baby's breath. Thank you, Chairman Rizk. I really appreciate all the inspiring information on your work. Beautiful portraits. Love the textures. And I want you to let us know where we can obtain a piece of your work.
Well, so far I'm showing 3 pieces in a Los Angeles gallery called Storefront Gallery on Hollywood Boulevard, beginning January 15. I think the show's going on for a month. Then it's going to be on their website, worldofwonder.com, where they're going to show the paintings again on the net for 3 months after the show.
Hope everyone wrote that down. Thank you, and thank you for joining us at What Is Fashion, Entertainment, Nightlife, and Lifestyle. I'm your host, MalissaDean.
Love me at noon, kiss me at night, mix it up in the morning, mix it out of sight. I'm coming back from Cairo. I'm coming back from New York. I'm coming back from Paris. I'm coming back from where it's at. I'm coming back from Cairo all the way to New York. Stopping by in Paris, have a toast, pop the cork. Is it uptown? Is it downtown? Is it diamonds? Is it drag? Is it day or is it evening? Is it briefcase or handbag? Mix it up, whatever you want. Mix it up, everyone's the star. Mix it up, you can be anything. Mix it up, lose your mind, set it free. Sexy? Do you want me chic? Do you prefer me butch? Or do you want a freak? Is it gowns? Is it suits? Is it pumps or steel-toe boots? Is it heels or is it flats? Mix it up is where it's at. Mix it up.